Hey, what's going on, everybody? Steve here, Rake and Profit. I hope you guys are having a beautiful day. I want to start making some new types of videos on my channel, and you've probably started to see maybe a couple of them. I've got some videos talking about, like 10 things that I'm doing to become healthier every day. I'm just sharing some more like self-development stuff and different types of content that I guess I would say is really benefiting me more, and even some things that you feel like have nothing to do with money or business. If you do them and do them well and work on some of these things, like being happier or being healthier, it could actually help you to be more successful in business and in life just in general. So in today's video, I wanted to share 10 things that I'm doing every day to be happier, right? To feel better about myself, to enjoy life more, right? A lot of times we just focus on money. We focus on our Amazon sales, on our orange bars, on sourcing and thrifting and making money. But one thing that I've realized as I'm sitting here at 38 years old is life is about being happy, right? Because at the end of the day, we don't just want money to collect all these pieces of paper with dead presidents, right? We don't want success just, for people to say, wow, you're so great. Like, we want to be happy, right? So I wanted to just make a video sharing 10 things that I'm doing right now to be happier. 10 pretty simple things. And these aren't everything that I'm doing. And, I'm sure I'm going to miss a bunch of things that are really important. For me, I'm in a phase right now of my life where I'm really focusing a lot on health and self-development, right? So there's certainly other things that I'm focusing on with family and contribution and, other things. But with that being said, let's just get into this video and let's talk about 10 things that I'm doing that are making me happier. Number one, not scrolling as much on social media. For me, there's nothing long-term that hurts me more, in my opinion, than scrolling on TikTok, scrolling on Instagram. Watching a YouTube video like that's educational, or like watching a movie, or things like that, it doesn't have the same effect. There's something about just scrolling, and like every 2 seconds it's like you feel like a crackhead. I'm sorry for saying it like that, but that's how I feel. Like just scrolling and like engaging, like there's so much like dopamine that's hitting you, cheap dopamine, that for me it just leads to long-term anxiety, just comparison syndrome, depression, just feeling like I'm not good enough, distraction. So I'm not gonna go too deep into this, but I've set up some guardrails and some parameters in my life to stop the scrolling, right? Again, I'm not perfect. My screen time is still out of control, but I noticed that the short form content really messes me up the most. And as I put some rules in place, like for example, I have a rule, first thing in the morning, no phone for an hour, right? And no like scrolling or TikTok or Instagram reels 2 hours before bed. Like I'll still watch a YouTube video or watch a movie, but that alone, right? Minimizing the short form content has really made me happier. Number two, eating foods like ground beef and steak and eggs. I don't know what it is, right? There's something to do with just the red meat. And this is just for me, right? I'm not here to say everybody should be eating a ton of red meat. I'm working out a lot. I'm hitting the gym a lot. I'm active. I'm walking 10 to 15,000 steps per day. I'm 38 years old. I don't know if any of this context matters. I think everybody's body is different, but for me, eating sweet potato, eating white rice, like small portions, not big portions, vegetables, blueberries, raspberries, drinking a ton of water, eating ground beef, like lean ground beef, having a ribeye steak from time to time, eggs, pasture-raised eggs. When I eat those foods, I feel like a freaking $1,000,000. I mean, they are just jam-packed with nutrients. Kiwis, whew, ripping down some kiwis, or a banana with some raw honey before a workout. Oh God, I mean, it makes me so happy. Eating clean foods makes me happy. It makes me super duper happy. So eating protein bars, processed foods, just, pizza and bagels and all that stuff, it's delicious. It makes me happy in the short term, but long term, it leads to bloating and weight gain and feeling like crap, and my throat closes up and I feel lethargic and tired and brain fog. For me, just eating clean foods makes me freaking happy. Number three, something I'm definitely still working on, but not caring so much what people think. This is something that I've struggled with my whole life. I think a lot of us do. We just maybe don't admit it publicly. But stop caring what everybody thinks about you, because I feel like the older I get, the more I actually realize that nobody really cares that much about you to begin with. I'm sorry to say, but outside of maybe your family, your mom and your dad, your husband, wife, boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever, some of your friends, no one really cares about you. Like, they might not wish any ill will on you or any harm. Like maybe they want to see you do well, but they don't care like in a sense of like, do you hit $80,000 a year in your income, or do you hit 200,000? Like they don't really care, right? Most people just care about what they can get from you or how you can benefit them. And sometimes people will criticize you or throw shade at you or make you feel bad just because they're selfish, right? The more you care about what other people think, the more unhappy you're gonna be for the most part. Now, of course, you wanna care to an extent about your family and friends and your loved ones. I'm not saying that, right? But I think what really matters most is caring about yourself and your goals and your dreams and what you want and making a difference in this world and adding value. The more I care and the more I worry about what people say about me, the less happy I am. So just letting things go, right? Letting negative comments go and letting what other people think and what other people want, letting it go. Unless they're in my inner circle, just letting their problems and their issues be on their own. I don't have to hold that weight. I don't have to take their nonsense and their BS and bring it and think, oh wow, this is my problem now. Number 4, going to the gym makes me so happy. There's something about lifting weights or just getting a good sweat on the elliptical, pushing yourself. I think it comes down to growth. It's like when I'm in the gym, I know I'm growing, right? Even though you're not really growing in the gym, you're growing when you rest and recover and your muscles rebuild and you feed yourself good nutrition and you sleep. But going to the gym, consistently going to the gym, writing down my workouts, trying to beat my workouts, lifting with good form, leaving the ego out, at home, not bringing it in the gym with me. Just knowing that I'm doing something to better myself, like having a good audio book or listening to some good music and working out and pushing myself. And I don't know, it makes me really, really happy. So, for some of my guys out there, especially if you're going through a lot of anger and a lot of just maybe confusion and just issues with anxiety or depression, getting outside, getting in a good workout, even a good walk, out in the sun. I mean, it can just make a big, big difference. And this all compounds, like, tracking your calories and eating healthy and eating whole foods and going to the gym for a week or two, like it'll make you feel a little bit better, but it's when you're consistent, 90 to 100% of the time for months on end, I mean, it'll change your life. Number 5, long walks. I talked about this before. I feel like especially for entrepreneurs, a lot of times I see entrepreneurs who are consistently stuck, and it's because they're just working, and they never take time to think and brainstorm and reflect. They don't have a morning ritual. They don't have a night ritual. It's just go, source, list, ship, put out this fire, put out that fire. But there's something really amazing, incredible about going on a nice long walk, And I think it's great to go on some nice long walks with your boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever, with your family. It's great. But there's something special that happens when you go on a nice long walk by yourself. Turn off the audiobook, turn off the music, just hear the sounds of Mother Nature. Just hear your thoughts and just think and just reflect and ask yourself questions and just think about your life, think about your business, think about what's working, what's not working, and just mentally kind of have a conversation and work through your problems and challenges and just reflecting on what you're grateful for. I mean, long walks make me super happy, and I've heard this from a lot of other people as well. So, maybe if you're not really happy right now, just maybe, try going on some long walks. Number 6, and I learned this from my coach, Jazz. I'll put a screenshot of Jazz here. He's my coach. I've been working with him since November. He's been helping me a lot with my health and fitness, and he's just great, right? Love having him in my life and well worth the investment, right? But he taught me something, and I don't know if he coined the phrase, but he always told me, Steve, control the controllables. I said, what do you mean, Jazz? Control the controllables. He says, in life, there's going to be things that you can control that are within your control, and then there's going to be things in life that are out of your control. For example, say you have a goal of going to the gym, 4 times per week, and you're going to the gym 4 times a week, you're eating healthy, right? Those are the 2 things you're focused on, but you hurt your back and you hurt your neck, right? You are now out of commission. That's something you can't control anymore. Like, you're gonna have to let go and let your body recover, right? In the past, what would I do? I would try to control the uncontrollable. I would go to the gym, I would work out with injuries, and then I'd hurt myself more, I'd cause all this stress, and then I would binge eat to try to make myself feel better. I was trying to control the uncontrollable. So what jazz taught me is sometimes you're gonna hurt your back and your neck, which I've gone through a ton of injuries over the last year, and I'm still losing weight and still getting stronger because I focus on controlling what I can control. I might not be able to work out in the gym because I can't control it. I've injured myself. Now I have to focus on recovery and chiropractor, so on and so forth. But that doesn't mean I can't eat super healthy and track my calories and eat my whole foods and eat my ground beef and eat my eggs. And even if I can't walk, what's stopping me from going outside and sitting in the sun, right? Or maybe going on a light walk, right? If I can walk. Control the controllables, right? You can control what you can control. So, I mean, that was just a big game changer for me. Number 7, this has really just made a big difference just in my mental health. And I think this is important for me, especially, and people like me, maybe folks who are just like entrepreneurs or ADHD, or maybe suffer with addiction, or maybe you're just addicted to social media and scrolling and different things. Setting up a morning and a night ritual, it's been huge. I'll put a screenshot somewhere on here if my editor can pull that screenshot, but I'm gonna put a screenshot of my morning and night ritual that I follow. This is just one that I created myself. I pretty much just wrote out what I wanted, and I had ChatGPT like create like the PDF, and then I just printed it out. And I fill this out every morning and every night. So there's certain non-negotiables that I follow first thing in the morning. I hydrate, I brush my teeth, I stretch, I read 5 pages. I don't go on my phone for the first hour. I mean, you can take a look at the screenshot, and then I, plan out my to-do list, and, I go throughout my day, and then I have non-negotiables at nighttime, right? Blue blocking glasses, not working 2 hours before, brushing and flossing. I did things that I wanted to put in place to keep myself structured. And for me, I'm the most unhappy when I don't have structure. I know not everybody wants structure, not everybody wants to track their calories, and not everybody wants to have scorecards for their life and business. But for me, right, and I'm not saying this is for everybody. Some people are gonna absolutely hate this idea, and I totally get it. But you gotta find what works best for you. When I have structure, I mean, sometimes in the moment I hate it. I wake up and I'm like, I wanna scroll. Like, I don't wanna read 5 pages. Like, I don't want to drink this water. Like, I want to go lay on the couch and put on Netflix. But in the long term, it makes me really, really happy having a morning and night ritual and having that structure. So just consider it. Number 8, spending time helping loved ones. Now, if you've been following me for a while, you know that I love helping people, right? I make a lot of videos nowadays, and my videos don't get that many views anymore. But I do it because I love helping people. I enjoy it, right? I'm incentivized, of course, in ways with, I have my own software company, and I've got some programs and courses. But if I really wanted to make the most money, the smartest thing I should probably do is just, get a good Facebook ads specialist or a Google ads specialist, create a webinar and throw a ton of money and just do that and blast the masses. But for me, money is not everything, right? I love making videos. I love helping my audience, people who are actually interested. Who knows, maybe I'll do some paid advertising more down the road, but I love helping people. Recently, one thing that made me really, really happy was, my parents' air conditioner went out, and it was out for weeks, and my dad was saying it's not possible to fix. My mom was saying it was too much of a hassle. It's like an 80s house, and the air conditioner was super old, and it was like one of those air conditioners that are in the wall that go outside, and it was like really big and weird size, and they had tried to get someone to do it, and they couldn't. My mom's house was and my dad's house, it was just so hot, and they were being tortured. And I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna freaking make this my mission to get this thing fixed. And within 48 hours, I did fix it. There's always a way. A lot of times we just mentally block ourselves, but that made me so happy fixing and helping my parents with that, Recently, my mom's been struggling with finding inventory and stuff at the thrift stores. So I got her started with eBay to Amazon. I've got some systems I set up with her. I've got her linked up with my bookkeeper over the last couple of years. I've helped her in business the last 10 years. These things make me feel really good. And there's a bunch of other examples that I could share, but one thing to just keep in mind is sometimes just helping people is the best way to help yourself. Number 9, allowing myself to have rest days. Sometimes I just feel like the only way to be happy is I just gotta work my ass off. And there's some days where you're just not feeling it, you're tired, or your body just needs rest. And I would never give myself permission, right? I would always be just going crazy all the time. And it was always business, 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 money, 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 YouTube, content, pushing this project forward, pushing that project forward. And I guess one of the things that I've learned recently that's really just increased my level of happiness is sometimes it's okay to just have a rest day. Maybe you work for an hour and you take the rest of the day off, and you do things that are maybe not business related for work. Maybe some days you want to work on your personal life, right? Maybe you want to work on just getting outside and enjoying yourself, or spending time with your family, or helping your family, or cleaning the house, right? Or cleaning your car, or, you know, stuff just like that, you know, just giving yourself permission to read your body. Like sometimes you're gonna need to just go to the gym and go in the sauna and go in the hot tub, or just be outside, or relax, or have a Netflix day. It's like, you know, we're just pounded over the head on social media with just work, 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 grind, 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 grind. But sometimes you've got to take a step back to take 2 steps forward, right? You know, sometimes you just got to focus on getting to sleep early and eating healthy and putting yourself first. So that's definitely been something that I've been working on and allowing myself to do more. And I know not everybody's in the position to do that. And, you know, I'm just grateful. I've been working my butt off for a long time, and I've gotten to a place where I can take some days off. Again, I know not everybody's in a position to take the whole day off, but maybe there's a way that you could give yourself a little bit of, you know, space for relaxation or rejuvenation, right? And then last but not least, number 10, this has really been making me a lot happier. And it's just been working on, you know, letting go of the need of having to be liked and understood by everybody, especially being on social media and stuff. You know, I've struggled with the fact that these videos don't get a lot of views, you know, and sometimes it's like, I think to myself, like, I thought this channel was all about like helping people to make money and, you know, grow their business. And here I am, like, I've literally grown my business like so much over the years. I've literally found a way to have products come to me, do 6 figures in profit per year, working a couple hours per month at this point. I've even built a system where I don't even have to see the products, I don't have to touch the products. And I used to be like I couldn't understand why like people weren't doing it. And sometimes I would like equate that to like, oh, people don't like me, people don't like my content, people think this, people think that. Like, and it even comes back to like caring what other people think. And I've just realized like I have to let all that go. Like one thing that I struggle with, in, you know, I guess it's something that I'm working on, is understanding that, like, Steve, not everybody has the same finances as you. And that sounds arrogant. And I don't mean it like I'm better than anybody else, but like what I do takes a lot of capital. What I do takes specialized skills. What I do takes risk. What I do takes even like, I have advantages that other people don't have, right? Like my Amazon account is seasoned. I'm ungated in a lot of products. And I could go on and on with this example, but it's like sometimes I would take these things personal and think like I'm not good enough and I'm not liked and this and that and my YouTube channel is not doing well. But sometimes you just, I don't want to say I outgrow my audience or I'm better than anybody, because I don't think that at all. But sometimes you just, you know, you outgrow certain circumstances, and maybe sometimes things just aren't meant to be, right? And sometimes you have to change the way you're doing things. It doesn't mean people don't care about you, people don't like you, but you know, there's a lot to this. But just letting go of the need to be liked and understood, even by like certain family members and friends, and feeling like I have to explain myself and, you know, I have to get people's approval. You don't have to do any of that stuff. As long as you're doing things that are ethical, and every day you're trying to be better and you're trying to help the world, and you know, you're doing the best that you can. You don't need people to give you the thumbs up approval that, wow, you're okay, you're doing good, because all of us, everybody, even the haters who watch this video, we're all struggling. We all have our good days and our bad days. We all have an ego, right? We all have things that we're proud of. We all have things that we're disappointed in with ourselves. None of us are perfect, right? All the people leaving the negative comments, they all have, you know, a basket full of issues that they're going through as well. So just kind of letting go of this has really made me a lot happier. So anyways, guys, I know this was a long video. Let me know your thoughts if you guys like these types of videos. I've definitely been enjoying making these videos, and I feel like I have a lot to share and a lot of lessons that I've learned, and just, you know, things that I could share that I think could help folks, you know, in their life and business. So if you're interested, definitely drop a comment and let me know. Smash that like button. But with that being said, guys, much love and thanks for watching. Peace.